I'm CEO of the Melz PR Group and will be guiding you through this morning's session. Of course, the major topic of the conference will be sustainability in the global motor industry. And we're very happy to have assembled a distinguished international panel of experts here in Vienna. Let me start to introduce the panelists. Next to me, the head of the Institute of Powertrains and Automotive Technology at the Technical University Vienna and chairman of the Austrian Society of Automotive Engineers, Dr. Bernhard Geringer. He and his team are already also the organizers of the whole symposium and the conference here in the Hofburg Palace. Next to him, Thomas Schmal. He's board member for management of the technology in the Volkswagen Group or Volkswagen AG. Next to him, another Thomas, Dr. Thomas Power, president of the Powertrain Solutions Division, Robert Bosch Company. And last but not least, Dr. Sung Hwan Cho. He is the CEO of Hyundai Mobis and he came all the way from South Korea to us today. So let's start. Dr. Geringer, may I invite you to start with your welcome address.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from my side and from the organization of the Vienna Motor Symposium too. We are all aware of the climate problem. This leads to the extremely urgent need to reduce greenhouse gases on a very large scale. This must not be chain solutions or only targets, new goals, which are written. They must really get down to business. Otherwise we will achieve nothing, only words. How this can be done economically and fast is controversial in politics, in the public side and so on. On one side, no reduction in prosperity, this despite the global rising world population and rising energy consumption, for instance, due to increased private needs and mobility in emerging countries. It is clear fossil energy use must be drastically reduced worldwide. The goal of the climate neutrality by 2050 or even 2040 as envisaged in Austria is a noble goal, but we must therefore convert our entire energy supply to sustainable, so very often called green energy, and thus prevent further CO2 accumulation in the atmosphere. A fundamental transformation of the energy system is therefore necessary. And all this while saving energy and increasing efficiency in all areas. The powertrain and vehicle industry has already reacted clearly to this. We are talking everywhere and acting in terms of transformation away from fossil fuels and towards sustainable drives. We will hear this in the 2 days of our conference. Many equate this transformation with battery electric vehicle, but this is wrong. Greenhouse gas neutral mobility must consider the entire system on the basis of an life cycle assessment, production, the use and recycling or disposal. A battery electric vehicle with a battery produced from coal-fired electricity and an electric motor powered by coal-fired electricity is worse than any petrol engine. On the other hand, a fuel cell or combustion engine with e-fuels, so-called e-fuels for synthetic fuels from green electricity produced can have the same low climate impact as a green electricity-driven battery electric vehicle. The vehicle technology for the transformation exists and is already in large-scale production. What is needed is the upscaling into the entire volume vehicle volumes worldwide on the end, upscaling of sustainable production of vehicles, energy storages and green energy as electricity, hydrogen and e-fuels. cost alignment on the other side with proven existing powertrains and energy carriers in the vehicles and other important goal for this achievement. Infrastructure for the broad availability of sustainable energy with charging stations, green hydrogen stations and synthetic fuels all over the area. And last but not least, the disposal and recycling in the sense of a circular economy must be solved. Evaluation tools for such a life cycle assessment are available. The methods and the working tools are for this purpose existing in all the three life stages: production, product use and disposal as recycling. All three stages are addressed in the Vienna Motor Symposium, and here the press conference, the three gentlemen in this press area will cover the important areas: production of e-mobility with in-house conversion to the new products from VW, requirements for the system suppliers to the new mobility from Hyundai Mobis, and comprehensive drive solutions optimized according to the applications from the company Bosch. I look forward for hearing the statements from the three gentlemen and answering questions from the press. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Geringer. And now we hear what's new in the Volkswagen Group technology area. Herr Diplom,
Thank you. Thank you for the short introduction. The main three topics of my keynote speech today in the morning. We like to achieve technology leadership, maintain it. I think Volkswagen stands up for technology. We like to have scale effects, volume effects, building up, raising up platform business, especially key technology as batteries, software. You know our ambitious plans for the battery production with PowerPro or for our software company Clarion. And this gives us scales, better price, cost positions, for sure speed, what is necessary in the market. And third, resilient supply chains. What is becoming more and more important. After COVID, semiconductor, Ukraine crisis, I think you see as well that it's in the new world, decoupling, one of the big keywords, that we are coming to a world where resilient supply chains are mandatory and necessary to have success. Let me step in all three objectives. First, technology leadership. We launched recently our electric engine AP550. I think one of benchmark electric machines that you can see in the market. Mr. Krieg and colleagues will present today in the evening all technical deep dives to that electric engine. I think what was really important to achieve efficiencies higher than what is normal average today, and this efficiency we're achieving in this engine, we could avoid cost-intensive parts in the whole car, because it comes with better efficiency in the engine. The next one is we recently launched in Vienna Motor Show ID.7 last week, 700 kilometers of range, and then the next steps come with more highlights in the complete drive system. We have a history of in-house competence. It's really wide and long. We are working since more than 10-15 years in Kassel with electric engines, and the fruits we can see in all the points I told you recently in the launching of the AP550. Second is synergy and scale. It's clear that in a complex company as Volkswagen with different brands, it's mandatory to maintain the synergies from all brands, and especially imagine every brand is looking for their own battery strategy. This is not successful. So it's not a no-brainer that you don't do that. So that's the point why we're bundling in especially key technologies as battery, electric engines, the competences in a division we are calling Group Technology. I'm responsible since 2 years for that division. And the last one is, as I told, the resilient supply chains. You had our announcements of North American cell production factory in Canada. We did last week, celebrated that groundbreaking ceremony Monday this week in Ottawa with the German President Steinmeier and the President of Canada, Mr. Trudeau. What shows you a little bit the direction that local for local, and I see in the new world two regions, or the Asian region, the European ones, and the North American region. I think if you like to be successful and have a resilient supply chain, you need to localize in these three regions in parallel. The decision for Canada, it's not what the people are always doing wrong and mixing it up, but it's not true. It's not a nicer decision. It's not Canada or Europe. We have our needs in Europe. The only issue we see is that to inflation reduction and IRA, the electrification speeds up much faster than we expected in the US, what gives you the need of reorganizing the investment structure you did in the past. That means we need to be a little bit faster now in North America to don't lose the train. So I think that's more or less the short 3 points I told you, and glad to have your questions later.
Thank you very much. Yes, we can have the questions later. Dr. Bauer, may I ask you as the next one to give us your statement? Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, despite all the challenges and crises, we are at Bosch optimistic about the future. We are confident that our technology progress will help us enormously in the fight against climate change and energy scarcity. We have a wide range of sustainable mobility solutions at our disposal, and we are going to need them. Because tomorrow's powertrain will be by no means the same everywhere. They must meet the legal, economic, and social conditions of the respective regions, and they must be affordable. A glance at the world region then immediately becomes clear how greatly this inclusion of future powertrain types will vary. In Europe, more than 1 in 2 new cars will likely be already electric by 2030. Depending on price development, infrastructure extension. However, the planned Euro 7 emission standards will also require further development of internal combustion engines, including exhaust gas treatment. We are doing all we can to develop the rightest range of solutions. In the US too, the trend is towards electrification. California and 12 other states even plan to approve only zero-emission vehicles for registration starting in 2035. Moreover, there's already massive funding of hydrogen powertrains. Bosch offers solutions for both powertrain types. Overall, we expect about half of all new vehicle cars in the US to still have a combustion engine in 2030. In China, we expect growth in new energy vehicles with battery and fuel cell powertrains to remain strong. The same goes for plug-in hybrids. By 2035, this group will account for at least as many new energy vehicles as combustion engines. In other parts of the world, in Brazil and India for example, conventional combustion engine will remain prevalent for some time, and it will in part be powered by renewable fuels containing ethanol. We also see huge potential for hydrogen powertrains in India. All in all, any company who wishes to be a global player has to understand the diversity of mobility and provides the best solution for every single requirement. We have to succeed in making all powertrains as carbon neutral as possible and powering them with the renewables. Green hydrogen looks most promising in this regard. That's why at Bosch we are developing solutions for hydrogen infrastructure. This includes electrolyzer components, and in 2025 we will bring our first step, the core of an electrolysis plant, to the market. As soon as we have the corresponding fuel infrastructure, we will be able to use green hydrogen for various powertrain options. That also includes the hydrogen engine in commercial vehicles, which can play a key role in sustainable mobility. Here, tried and tested technologies can be used, allowing for a quick market launch. What's more, the hydrogen engine has no relevant impact on air quality if we use established technologies for exhaust gas treatment. We also have big plans for the fuel cell. By 2025, we aim to have over 40,000 Bosch fuel cell systems on the road. To support this goal, Bosch also manufactures the stack itself and is establishing global production capabilities close to its customers. We believe that as early as 2035, almost 1 in 3 new commercial vehicles worldwide will be powered by a fuel cell. Volume production of fuel cell systems for heavy-duty vehicles will start already this year. Carbon neutral mobility is possible, provided we succeed in expanding to this corresponding infrastructure quickly and on a large scale. The threat posed by climate change is so great that we should not exclude any solution out of hand. At Bosch, we strongly believe that technology is one of the most crucial levers in the fight against climate change. And we should apply this lever as early, as boldly, and as powerful as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bauer. Now I invite Dr. Joe for his talk. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Today, at this symposium, I highlight the vision and strategy of Vienna Motor Group, the theme of future mobility vision. Not only the traditional car industries, but also the new players from electronics, chemicals, telecommunications, and big tech companies are emerging drastically, encouraging further cooperation and competition. I'd like to take the opportunity today to share with you the vision for future mobility that Vienna Motor Group is pursuing in this rapidly changing industry environment and the role that Vienna Motors will play in achieving. Vienna Motor Group's vision, Together for a Better Future, which aims to realize freedom of movement for humanity, provide a new level of mobility, and ultimately create a happier and better future for humanity.